Last month, my friend's son died in a tragic accident. He was just 16, and the grief from this tragedy has only been amplified by the fact that my friend died when she was 28 from cancer. And so all the grief from that has come up as well. She was like a sister to me. And at the time, I didn't know how to move the grief that I felt from her loss. And I just started playing solitaire for hours on end, dealing the cards, shuffling them. There was something about this physical act that soothed my nervous system. After the news of her son's death, I've been creating pages of scribbles, deeply feeling the sadness from both the tragedy of his death and the tragedy of hers, and transmuting this sadness through color energy and shapes. Whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, I've been opening up my sketchbook and expressing those emotions on the page. I've started calling each of these pieces a sadness spread. I feel called to share this practice with you. There's so much sadness in the world, both personal and communal. And this has been such a beautiful practice for me and a beautiful way to work through some of these sadnesses. I wanted you to know about it as well. The sadness spread that I'm sharing today is very raw and unedited. And my hope is that the practice will energetically flow through to you through this video. It's such a powerful and important practice that I'm going to dedicate the entire scribble practice week to this practice so that you can begin to follow the steps and everything's laid out a little bit more clearly. That's my hope. I want you to know that you're not alone in your sadness and that we are in this together. All of us are in this together. And as a group, we can transmute this sadness into something beautiful, and even more important, give these emotions that need space and need a place to go exactly what it needs, giving it the time and the space to process. Hey, welcome to Scribble Practice. We're going to do a sadness spread today. And what I mean by that is you can tap into whatever sadness you are feeling and transmute that energy by placing colors and shapes on a page. So it might sound really complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. It's a simple concept. And then as you practice, it will get easier and easier. If you're not feeling sad about anything right now, you could think about maybe sadness that's in the world or in your community or with a friend, and transmute that energy. Tap into that energy by just thinking about having some empathy, thinking about how that person or people or community or part of the world might be feeling, and use that as inspiration for what goes onto the page. I've been doing a lot of these sadness spreads recently because of what I shared in the intro. And I just wanted to share some of the ones that I have done. I've done many others than what I'm sharing even, but I wanted to share these ones. They felt comfortable. So this one is actually the most recent one that I've started. I'm still working on it. I'm not going to work on it today, but I'm going to start a new one for today. And this was another one that I did, just doing shapes and putting them on the page. And a lot of the ones I've been doing recently have been sort of these shapes fitting together, but they might not be those shapes. This one was kind of the same, but I had a different sort of energy moving through me when this started coming out. This one ended up more like a pattern, so that was cool. And then this one's a really loose one. It's still a sadness spread because I was moving sadness through my body, but it's not very shapy. It's a little bit looser. This one's even more loose. Even the piece that I did the other last Sunday, this one, that ended up actually being a sadness spread. I was quiet while I was filming and I was thinking about some of the sadnesses that I was feeling, and this came out. And I'm always so, I don't know, for some reason, all of the ones that I've done recently, every time I've done a sadness spread, I'm actually pretty happy, and I don't know, everything seems to be really beautiful. So it's almost like this sadness is moving and it's creating sort of a like beauty, no matter how shapeless or shapeful it is. Now I wanted to share this one as well because this is more what I have in mind for today actually, and I wanted to share it because I only used 2 colors, so you can see that maybe even if all you have hanging around is a Bic pen or anything, you can make a sadness spread. The other thing about this that was really, really helpful for me is that I did it over the course of, I don't know, I almost think it was over a week. And I just kept coming back to it and adding shapes and adding shapes and adding shapes. And something about that was just so helpful for me. And it's kind of interesting because you can almost see, because I did it in the days, but you can kind of see the parts that I did together. They almost sort of speak to each other, these little parts that all showed up at the same time. So for today, if you like, do whatever sadness spread feels good for you. Any of these options would work. Anything that you're feeling works. Whatever your body needs, it knows better than I do and better than you do. Your body knows what needs to happen to move this sadness through your body. For me, I am feeling like I would like to use these wax pastels. They are the Neo Color 2 Aquarelle. I know for sure I want to use this color, and I don't think I'm going to use a lot of colors, but I may. I know I need this one, and I'm probably going to use at least one more, but maybe 2. Actually, you know what? As I'm talking, these colors are standing out. That's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to take the rest of these away and put them over here. I do find it really nice to, I don't know, to not have to think so much about what supplies you're using for this, to just have it, to have the colors sort of figured out for yourself before you get started, and just have them close by. And then all we're gonna do is start making shapes, and they can be whatever shapes you are feeling right now. They don't have to be, I think if you're gonna do this with me, if you wanna follow along with me, then some sort of form will be helpful. They don't have to be like hearts and stars and that sort of thing, but having a bit of a a bit of a form is great rather than like straight scribbles. But if your body is feeling straight scribbles right now, then do that for sure. Sometimes that sadness is just so overwhelming. It just needs to be really scribbled out. Just, like this. Just get in there and get it out. And that can be easily worked in with these shapes as well. It doesn't have to be precious. And so because I can't really tap into my own feelings while I'm talking, I specifically chose this for Slow Sundays. So I will be going quiet now, and we can scribble together side by side. You can hear the sounds of my mark making beside you while we listen to some quiet, calming music. And we transmute sadness energy. And in that transmutation, in what we're doing, we're feeling our feelings. We're feeling the feelings and moving the energy. So this is the opposite of bypassing. And also, for me, it's been the most rewarding practice. I shouldn't say the most, because that makes it a competition, but it's been a very rewarding practice. So we may finish these pages today, and you can start another one as you like, or maybe you just do a small little amount today and a small little amount tomorrow, and just let yourself feel what you can feel in this moment. And the sadness is coming through for me as my tears well up and my energy quiets for this time together. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to quiet now until the end. This was a really powerful session for me. At first, when I started, I was trying to connect to the sadness that I've been feeling around the situation that I shared at the very beginning. And I was having some troubles with that. I felt like I couldn't connect with that sadness or that energy in the world. And it almost felt like I didn't really have permission for that. I guess permission to connect with that energy in such a public space. And so I just connected with myself. I don't know, I actually can't even put words to it, honestly. But something shifted, let's say it that way. And that shift happened when this scribble came. And this was just a bunch of scribbles, and I thought it was so interesting to see that for me it looks like a paintbrush. I didn't even mean to do that. That wasn't purposeful. It just came out. And yeah, something about that's really, really powerful. And then this yellow happened. And that was a huge energy shifting through me. And it just became really clear to me how important this message is, that so many people can use it. So many people, I think, can benefit, not use it. That wasn't the right word. Can benefit from this and can shift so much energy, transmute so much energy through this practice. This. And then the rest of this, I kept checking in like, okay, am I done? Does it need to keep going? And it did. And tears kept welling up in my eyes without reason or without me knowing what the reason is. Yeah, and then it's finished. And I got to share it with you. Oh, I feel such immense gratitude and joy that you are here with me for this. And that I get to be with you while you do this as well. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for that. I want to say that if you know someone who can use this kind of process, do share it with them. Moving energy through the body in whatever way you can is such a powerful, powerful thing. And the more of us who are doing this, the more energy we can move together. And now I'm just going to say thank you for being here. And thank you for doing this with me. And I will see you again tomorrow for another scribble practice.